Ever since Zach Wilson came back, we've been riding a 4-game winning streak, and even though he hasn't made many mistakes, it's got a lot of Jet fans fired up. Should we be worried about Zach Wilson?
J-E-T-S, Jets!
Zach Wilson did fine yesterday. He did fine. It wasn't like they were missing wide open people. Denver's been doing this to everybody that comes to Denver. Jets fans, come on. Get a clue. What's going on here? Like, what the are you thinking or doing? You won a game. You're 5-2. They're like looking for anything to pick apart their team. I've never seen anything like it. I literally wanted to start off the pod because I was driving here today on the fan going, do I have to look at the game again? Did they lose? Wait, did Zach Wilson not escape out of like 7 sacks yesterday and throw the ball away? And keep them in manageable situations? I mean, he made some magical escapes yesterday where I went, whoa, like that was unbelievable. He had no pass protection. I mean, to me, I'm looking at it going, a young quarterback like Zach Wilson usually would have thrown 3 interceptions in a game like that. Same with last week in Green Bay. He outplayed Aaron Rodgers last week in Green Bay, but we're still going to talk about Zach Wilson. It's not good enough. I mean, he made the biggest play, the biggest throw in the game last week. An on-the-run, out-and-up, 45-yard dime down the sideline to Corey Davis. But we're going to talk about Elijah Moore and that shit. Like, the Jets fans are frustrating me right now. You're 5-2. You're playing the way you're supposed to. I didn't watch that game yesterday, and I got to see it pretty good. There wasn't many games on at 4 o'clock where I didn't come away going, man, Zach's missing people. They're wide open everywhere. Like, man, they should have thrown for 300 today.
Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, the Jets are riding a 4-game winning streak, but it's not enough to keep fans happy. We're talking a little bit of Zach Wilson here. Is he all right? Should we be concerned about Zach Wilson? His stats over the last 4 games, do they matter? The Jets are on a 4-game win streak. Does it matter what your quarterback has done? He hasn't really done anything to lose the game. He's got 2 interceptions on the season. The 1 interception bounced off Tyler Conklin's hands. So, what is the issue? Why are fans losing their minds? Well, the stat lines. That's really what it is. The stat lines have been not so great. Against the Steelers, 252 yards. Had a great fourth quarter. When he had to turn it on, the dude was money. Against the Dolphins, 3rd-string quarterback. Jets have 210 yards. The Jets hung a 40-burger on the Dolphins. Does this guy really need to be throwing the ball around in the fourth quarter? I don't think so. The Packers game, 110 yards. Broncos game, 121 yards. 2 games back-to-back, sub 125 yards. Look, I'll be honest, that doesn't look great. It doesn't look good. But you look at the defenses you're going up against, Green Bay and the Broncos. They're 2 great defenses, and you want to try and protect Zach Wilson. But is it enough? It's not like we don't believe in him. Well, I mean, maybe some fans don't. But there's a lot of, I think what people see is they see it's such a passing league right now. And there's quarterbacks that are stepping in that are able to go for 250, 300 yards. And this guy was the number 2 overall pick. That's where the frustration really comes in. His pressure percentage, 16.7% of his dropbacks, he's getting pressured. That's all the time. And for me, when I look at this game and I look at the last few games, you're talking, we're running the ball well. The defense is playing well. There's no reason to pass. We haven't had a reason to do anything. But there are some passes that we're watching that are just, a little off target. Or he's, maybe bailing on the pocket too much. The eyeball test is rough. I'll give you that. And is it the receivers not getting open? Is it Zach not processing? Is there an issue with the, not having a preseason, not having a training camp? He misses 7 weeks of the season. Now, I think that could probably only take you so far. This past game against the Broncos, especially in the second half, you're without Breece Hall. You're without AVT. You're without Corey Davis. You're already without Elijah Moore. So you're down 4 of your top weapons on your offense. So the number 1 defense in the league, what do? They obviously cover Garrett Wilson. Dude had, 4 receptions for 24 yards. not a whole lot going on there. I understand the concern. I'm not ready to jump off ship on Zach Wilson. The dude's got way too much talent. There's some ill-advised throws. There's some, I don't know, bailing in the pocket. It's interesting. Here's an interesting stat that I don't know whether to take this as good or bad. The fact that he's running around for his life, his time to throw, so from snap to when the ball gets released from his hand, 4.37 seconds. That is a ton of time to hold on to the ball. So that implies that the offensive line is really doing its job. But if you've been watching the game, it hasn't really been the case, at least not this past week. He's being able to manufacture longer durations because he's bailing on the pocket and holding onto the ball and kind of rolling out. But that means he should be able to find someone when DBs and linebackers are asked to cover for damn near 5 seconds, someone's got to get open. Someone is open. Maybe Zach's not hitting him. Maybe he's a little gun shy, doesn't want to make the critical turnover. I don't know. I don't know. I have faith. I think this upcoming week against the Patriots, this might be the game that we see Zach kind of go off, mainly because we don't have Breece Hall. We don't have AVT. And I think there's going to be, maybe a little bit more emphasis, possibly targeting someone like Elijah Moore a little bit more. I understand the frustration. And I'm not exactly sure where I need to be on all this. The kid's just 17 games into his career. Basically just finished up his first season. He's got 1 touchdown on the season. That sounds alarming. He also has a receiving touchdown. He has a rushing touchdown. And he had 2 receptions that ended on the 1-yard line. So if you're thinking about it that way, the guy could have 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions over the course of the first 4 games that he's played this season. That doesn't sound like as bad. But because we've gotten it, in our heads that we have to have 300 yards passing, that is the critical flaw that Zach Wilson has right now. I don't know. Guys, I want to hear what you have to say. Are you concerned about Zach Wilson? Do you think we need to be concerned right now? Do you think he's just going to grow out of this? What is the deal? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, go Jets.